This is called Gray Side of the Moon. Dorothy walks into Rainbow Grocery wearing her ruby red Doc Martens. "I'm looking for the good witch," she yells out. Everyone raises her hand or points to someone. I watched The Wizard of Oz on a black and white TV when I was young. I had no idea Dorothy's world became color once she landed in Oz. It was long before people like us had VCRs. Either you watched it when it came on once a year, or you missed it. At the age of 15, I knew what Uzi fire sounded like, but I had no idea what it was like to kiss a girl. There was a weird window of time in the 80s where the gangs were better armed than the cops. The fist fights stopped and the shootouts began. Break dancers traded in linoleum squares for crack corners. The windmills and headspins gave way to jump-ins and drive-bys. Crack turned the streets into a pinball game of teenagers running for cover. Glass broke, people screamed, the city went on multi-ball mode. You wouldn't always see who was shooting, you just ran in the direction everyone else did. I hid where I could, behind cars and trash cans, running into the subway when it was close. I wanted out. I wanted to leave Boston, go back home to Arkansas, where my friends were building hot rods one piece at a time and dating girls who liked fast cars and drank wine coolers. When you're a teenager, it's easy to feel like you're going to die a virgin. But during that time of my life, I was really worried about the dying part. I made it back to Arkansas, shell-shocked from years of street evangelism and the violence that came with it. None of it made sense anymore. I quit the church for the trailer park. Someone made me a Jack and Coke. I looked in the red plastic cup and saw a tornado. I heard Dark Side of the Moon for the first time on cassette. Same goes for The Wall and Wish You Were Here. Later, the first guy I knew with a CD player had a copy of Animals. And I heard that for the first time coming down from an acid trip, alone in his living room while he fucked his girlfriend down the hall. I couldn't tell if it was their sounds or the sounds of the album or the sounds in my head, and I'm still not sure. They say if you put on a DVD of The Wizard of Oz and turn the sound down, and put on a CD of Dark Side of the Moon at the same time, they totally sync up. They say that if you look in the trees in the enchanted forest, you can see one of the stagehands who hung himself from one of the prop trees. They say that Buddy Ebsen was supposed to be the Tin Man, but he was allergic to the makeup. They say if you tattoo your face, you'll automatically get a GA check. They say if you smoke heroin, instead of shooting it, you won't get a habit. They say live fast, die young, leave a good-looking corpse. The tornado set me down in California, a world of color compared to my monotone childhood. Junior college was grad school for young drug addicts, an accelerated program for learning multiple ways of getting fucked up. I balanced my time between cocaine, mushrooms, LSD, and 100 proof vodka. At the end of the semester, I got my grades from the school in the mail. I had forgotten about that part, the whole going to class thing. I found poets who shot dope in the bathroom, smoked speed in the alley, and smoked pot like it was legal. They were brilliant sometimes, broke down angels, beat down revolutionaries, scar-faced prom queens, glass pipe prophets, quick-tongued hustlers, and slow-mouthed drunks. When I heard a good poem, color came to my life briefly. There were no camera phones, no flip minnows. If it was happening and you weren't there, you missed it. Fuck Dorothy for wanting to go back home. Why did she want to go back to her black and white world? What was she going back to? She found the land of color and wanted out right away. The tornado was what saved me. Laying in my bed, coming down off coke, my heart beating like a bat's wing trapped inside me, the euphoria gone, I comforted myself in the idea that I was too far from home to go back. Every summer, the American tornado dropped Dorothy's into San Francisco. We were the unwashed and faded gray version of the Lollipop Guild. greeting them upon arrival. This is for the little girl who would rather have a meth problem than a weight problem. This is for the little boy who tattoos his face and no one would touch him anymore. This is for every little boy and every little girl who stood between home and a tornado, weighed the options, and took a chance on the twister. Yeah. AIDS took the first friends I made in a synchronized fashion, one after the other, diving into nowhere like Busby Berkeley swimmers. From there was a variety show of ODs, suicides, and freak accidents. The lion wanted courage. The scarecrow wanted a brain. The Tin Man wanted a heart. And Rachel wanted fake tits. People gave her shit like it was different from the tattoos and piercings the rest of us got. Oh, they were perfect. The wizard knew what he was doing when he slipped those in. I never met a lion, but I met a kid with cat whiskers tattooed on his face. I never met a scarecrow, but I met people who shot speed and talked conspiracy all night. I never met a Tin Man, but I saw junkies frozen mid-walk and statue nod. Fake tit haiku number 1. I don't care they're fake. Whoever made them, brilliant. Fake or not, awesome. Fake tit haiku number 2. I loved your fake tits. Fake or real, they are still tits. Who does not love tits? Fake tit haiku number 3. Silicone fakies. Saline packets too fancy. I'll take frozen pea bags. The room spun above me. I was back at the tornado, spun by the winds of whiskey and bad decisions. Above me, I could see the bottom of the bottle through the glass of the coffee table topped. All the bourbon that remained was one halo mockingly over my head. The store was about to close, and I was out of whiskey. Too drunk to stand up, but not drunk enough to stop giving a shit. I lost my faith in whiskey right then, the same way I stopped believing in God on that hot August night in Arkansas. There would never be enough whiskey in the bottle again. A river wouldn't satisfy me. I was no longer going anywhere or from anywhere. It was just me and the swirl. Rachel told me, leave the house, go somewhere and dry out. I trusted her. I trusted those fake tits. They were at once a lie and a truth, the perfect duality. The house fell on Rachel. She caught strep throat. It turned into a staph infection, and she was dead 3 days later. Rachel died 2 weeks after I left the punk house. At her services, pinhole-pupiled punks, staggering drunks, and bong-ripped mourners stumbled past to give respects. I held out for a while, went to my favorite bar and said, "Make it be tomorrow," and drank glass after glass of Twister drinks one last time. That first AA meeting I went to, I saw all these people from my past, and you were there, and you were there, and you were there, and you, and you, and you. Dorothy's sick, kicking dope by candlelight in the squat. Her arms are a mess of pick marks and homemade tattoos. An abscess stands in the crook of her arm like a leaning barn by the side of the road. She wants to get it checked out, but is afraid they'll amputate it. She holds Toto close and cries, "I just want to get back to Kansas." Cat Whisker Face looks up from his guitar. "Shit, girl," he says. "You're on the wrong side of Potrero Hill."